Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm glad you're joining me today. I was going through my sketchbook and I had been working on these cute little chicks. Aren't they cute? We are going to be doing something similar to this today. Have you been to Tractor Supply? Have you been to the farm stores? All the little chicks are out and they're so cute to look at. Anyway, and I thought with spring coming and Easter coming, perfect timing to paint some chicks. And we're going to be doing the bodies of the chicks with a little bit different technique by using some various sizes of lids. And I think that's it. We need to get started. Oh, before we do though, I need to tell you what kind of brushes I'm using. I am using a couple different sizes of round brushes. I have a 10 and a 6. I also have a fan brush, and you may not have one, and that's okay. You can use a tip of a brush to do the same effect. Um, I might add some splatters. I don't know yet. Let's see where this takes us because I'm not sure. We also will be using, of course, my Micron pen. This project is perfect for beginners or seasoned artists, anywhere you're at. You can jump right in and you can make these little cute little chickens, and I think it's going to be fun. Let's get going. All right, I've watered down my colors of my paint. I have two different palettes of watercolor out right now because one of them has a pink color. And my chickens I made here are yellow, but I'm going to make one yellow and one pink today. That's kind of what I'm feeling. So let's get started on doing that. And so I'm wetting my brush down pretty good and I'm dipping it in my pink. And I'm just going to paint the rim of this bottle cap, this lid. Don't even know what it was a lid for, but that's how we're making the body of our chicken, our chick. My local Tractor Supply had, oh gosh, what did it say? Um, Flock party, little chicks, chick days, anything you want to call this. It's just fun. No pressure either. So you can just have fun with this. So I'm going to put this first one kind of, oh, let's see. We're going to make him or her, I don't know. And you just want to press down pretty firmly. And let's get the yellow one going, because that's when we start our wet brush. So it is kind of a wet technique. And let's do this one with a kind of a yellow orange. And again, we're just painting the rim of our bottle cap. I used two different bottle caps so that I didn't have to wash mine off. But for the heads, I'm going to be using a little round one. I will have to wipe it off. So let's put this one. I think this one's a little smaller, so we'll stick this one here. All right, and I splattered a little bit, but that's okay. So now what you want to do is have your, and since I kind of already have yellow in my paintbrush, let's start with the yellow one. I'm not adding any paint to this. I'm using the paint that was that I had laid down for the rim, with the rim, and that's how I'm making the body. And I want there to be some lights and darks. And if you need to add more color, you can. After we get this painted in, might add some, maybe some oranges. And I'm going to kind of drop in maybe a couple splatters of orange. Not all over. And some more of this bright yellow maybe. Okay, we're going to let that one dry. And while that one's drying, we're going to go on to the pink one. So I need to rinse out my brush. And I'm using the biggest round brush that I have right now, the 10 round. I believe. Yep, it's the 10 round. And I am going to do the same thing. And I have a little bit of yellow in my brush. That's okay. It'll all work out. This kind of dried a little bit. So note to yourself, you might do one blob and then start the watercolor and then do the next one because this did dry a little bit, but that no worries. It's all good. We will just add some pink in here and we will make it work. And we're just filling in. And on this one as well, I want to add maybe some darker blobs or darker blooms, I should say. And we're just filling in the circles there. I might tilt my paper a little bit. If you can see that. Okay, I think we'll go ahead and add the heads. So I've just found another little round bottle cap to something, not sure what, and going to do the same thing. And I'm going to paint around. My brush is too wet here. I'm going to paint around. Gosh, my paint. I'm sorry, guys. My paint is too wet here. I need to get some more paper towels. Dry this off. You know, there might be different textures to these lids because it's not really sticking to this lid. So because of that, and I don't have another lid handy, I am just going to use my round brush to make the head. And that's what I did on the ones that I showed you earlier. So I am going to dip my paint in, and I think on this pink one, I want the head to come out down here. So I'm just kind of doing another round little circle. And then I want to, gosh, let's make the legs come down here. And I'm kind of making where his feet might be. And kind of blending in where the head was. And on this other one, I think I will do this other head. Let's shake it up and make it over here. And I'm just making another, almost like another round circle. And I am going to make his feet. And I think I will, that'll be good. And then let's blow dry it a minute. I've got my paint pretty wet on the paper. And in order to do the beaks and finish the feet, and then we need to add some greenery in the feather tails, I need this to be dry. So let's blow dry. This is pretty cool. This is the Wagner heat tool, and I believe you can find it on my video. There will be an Amazon link, and I believe I might get some sort of credit if you order it. But this has been a good drawing tool. I totally recommend it. Anyway, Wagner. So I think that's dry. And I'm going to go in with my smaller brush. And I should have used my smaller brush for the feet, but I've already done it with the big brush, so we're just going to go with it. And I am going to make the beaks. And this one's kind of already pointed down, so let's just continue on with that. And make his beak come out like this. And don't know why I rinsed that off. I didn't need to. And let's see, this one, we will kind of make his beak come out here. I'm blending just a little bit with this orange so it kind of blends in. And while that's drying, I'm going to add some green where they could be pecking the ground. And I'm going to go with this kind of lighter green here. And I want my paint to be fairly wet. So let's just add some green. Maybe where the ground is. Kind of making some, like maybe some grass. I'm getting pretty close to where I painted, and my paint's dry, so I'm able to do that, but you want to make sure your paint's dry. And I'm notorious of rushing everything. You know, when you make these YouTube videos, um, you feel like you have to produce something really fast. So I always am feeling like I'm rushing. So if I am, sorry, I don't mean to be. Add some different greens to show some different dimension maybe in the grass. Okay, we're going to let that dry. We might add some more green into it later. Now I'm going to take my fanned brush, and I am going to work on the pink one. And I am going to add some details with the fanned brush. So I'm just mixing up some different colors of pink over here. And I'm going to use my fan brush. And we want to kind of make it the chicken look fluffy. So, and I also want my chicken to have some feathers. And I'm going outside my circle. And I'm trying to make him have some feathers. You got to go really light-handed on this fan brush um, because it will kind of, when you push down, it kind of flattens everything out. Let's see. He needs a tail. So let's add just a little bit. I don't know. Do little chicks have little tails when they're little? I don't know. Ours is. May not be correct, but ours is. So we're going to make his tail come out like this. All right. We're going to let that dry. And I think I'm going to let that dry though. And then I'm going to add some little bit darker pink or magenta in there to define the wing, I guess. So let's move on to the yellow one. And I need to get some kind of orangey yellow going on here. I kind of already have this one looking like it's got some feathers, but we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna add a little tail, and then we're gonna add maybe some wings, and make them fluffy all the way around, like he's fuzzy. You know what? I'm gonna add some of this yellow. Maybe I shouldn't, but I'm gonna add some of the yellow to the pink one. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. Else did I do up here? I'm gonna let that dry a little bit, and we're gonna go in with some white because I think chickens have new feathers, and so they're kind of lighter in color. So I have this bleed proof white, and I'm going to use my fan brush, and you have to be really, really careful with this because you can get too blobby with the white, and I don't want it to look too blobby. So actually, I have a clean fan brush. Let's just use that. And I'm going to add some white around, and my brush is dry right now. I'm just kind of showing you. I'm going to add some white around like where the wing would be and maybe somewhere on the head. Not really sure yet. And I'm just going to ever so lightly um, get the tips of this wet. And I think I need to put some of this down on my palette here. And I'm just dabbing the tips of this fan brush, and I want to make just a little bit, and you can see that kind of defines like where the wing would be. And I'm just going to kind of randomly put some white. I think the head needs some. Oop, look, he's got a hat. That looks kind of cute. All right, well, it's going to do it over here. And we're just randomly putting some white, maybe around the neck and the tail. And I'm going to put some down by these feet because on this pink one, I got the feet kind of big, I feel. And I think I want to go in with a little bit of a magenta. And I'm still learning my paints here. Deep magenta. So I want just this one. Oh, there we go. sure my brush is dry. Very, very lightly on this pink one. I want a little bit darker. Feathers here. Enough on here. Okay, before we add the eyes and the details to the feet and the beak, I want to splatter a little bit in the background. And I will get some of the splatter on the chickens, and I'm okay with that. Because sometimes chickens have little specks on them. And I want to go in with that same kind of green that I have. That's kind of, I had a little bit orange on my paint. Again, I'm rushing things, not letting things rinsing out like properly. And while I'm got this kind of darker green, I'm gonna add some more to the bottom here. Not very much. Might lighten that up a little bit. Make it look textury. I'm adding maybe some grass. All right, let's try to splatter. I'm using my fan brush again with some of this green. And like I said, I am going to get it on the chickens, and I'm okay with that. Let's get some of that down here in this grass. I don't have enough paint on my brush. Let's go with kind of this darker green. And once I'm done with the splatters, I will go in with, I'll blow dry it and we'll go in with some pen detail. I wanted some darker green splattered. In here. Okay. I think I'm going to add just some very random little flowers in here. Make it some of this green. Just very random. Maybe mix some of these stalks of and they're not going to look um, very detailed. I'm just going to put some little blobs of color in. And that's kind of turning my, because I didn't let it dry. So I'm going to blend it a little bit. Okay, I'm going to blow dry it right now. And I'm just kind of, since I kind of didn't let my paint dry like I'm supposed to, I'm going to kind of add some little red in there, like maybe there's just some flowers to make it look like that's what I meant to do. And I'm going to do that with some green as well, where I added those flowers. I'm kind of uh, making some sprigs of grass. Okay, I'm going to let that blow dry that again. Okay, now I'm going to take my Micron pen, and the reason I wanted that a little bit dry is because I didn't want to stick my hand into it. And I'm just going to add some detail of the beak and the eyes. I want my eye to just be kind of somewhere not directly in the center of the beak, but up a little bit. And I'm just going to kind of make a half circle. An oval maybe with a little, and I want to just ever so lightly just add maybe some where his tails would be. And let's add some dots by his eyes. And maybe very lightly defining that circle just a little bit. And then the feet, I'm going to come down and kind of make like a Y. And I'm going to do the same on the pink one. And make a little eye. Gonna make a elbow coming down. Where the feet might be. Make some dots. Oh, his eye looks like he's mad. Maybe he's mad because he can't get to these flowers. I'm just going to add some dots in here. Make him look like he's grounded. And I'm going to add, let me get my, I do have a white pen. I didn't know if I usually use a white pen as well. And I want to add maybe just a little bit of white around the eye. And then maybe accentuate some of the white that I did with the fan brush. Make them look a little more fluffy. I think, let's see what I did on my other one here. I had a little bit too much white, so now I'm going to go back in with my Micron pen and darken that up a little bit. Maybe some dots back here. Maybe right at the base of the tail. Okay. I think that looks pretty good. And I think I'm pretty happy with that. So I think I better stop before I overwork, because if you've watched me long enough, I tend to overwork. So I think that's good for now. Thank you for watching. I hope this video inspired you to create and enjoy the process. I'll be over here doing that thing I do. Catch you on the next one. Bye.